Welcome back, everybody. We are going to start something new today, and we are going to begin learning to divide fractions. And in order to do that process, we have to learn one new thing that's actually very simple. And we're going to use this new thing and combine it with a bunch of stuff we already know and are already good at to divide our fractions. But before we can do any of that, we're going to start with something called reciprocal fractions. And this is actually going to come back in a little bit. There's a video you're going to watch of a song that's going to help you just remember the process for dividing fractions. But they're going to use this phrase, keep, change, flip. And when they use that phrase, the flip is the part that we're going to be learning about right now. The flip is actually this thing called a reciprocal fraction. And a reciprocal fraction is two fractions that have a product of 1. So product means multiply. So when you multiply reciprocal fractions together, the answer is 1. So that the product is 1. So you're thinking, okay, what does that mean, Miss Kyle? Well, this is easy. To write a reciprocal, you simply flip the fraction. So here's an example. The reciprocal of 1/2, I'm going to put the numerator, the number on that's normally on top, is going to be the number on the bottom. And the denominator is going to move to the top. So we're flipping it upside down. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is actually just 2/1. And we can do that with any single fraction that we have. The fraction 3/4. If I wanted to write the reciprocal, it would be 4/3. So it's really easy to write the reciprocal. There's really no math involved other than checking when we're done to be sure what we got is actually the reciprocal. So in order to do that, I simply multiply the two reciprocals together, and the product, the answer, should be 1. So if I look at my fraction 1/2 and I say 1/2 times 2/1, so these are my reciprocal fractions, these two, equals, well, 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 1 is 2, and 2/2 is the same thing as 1. So those are reciprocal fractions. And that will work with any set of reciprocal fractions. I can try my next set. 3/4 times 4/3. These were the reciprocal fractions above. When I multiply those together, I have 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 3 is 12, and 12/12 is the same amount as 1. So I know that they are reciprocals. Not hard at all. All right, what I want you to do is pause the video and find the reciprocals on your own in this section right here. And do the check as well. So find the reciprocals and then multiply them together to prove to me that they are reciprocal fractions. When you're done, you can unpause the video and we will check our work together. All right, so hopefully you have found your reciprocal fractions. Let's start with 2/3. So 2/3, if I'm going to write the reciprocal, I'm going to put the numerator that's on the top, it's going to go to the bottom. The denominator is going to go to the top. I flip the fraction. 2/3 reciprocal is 3/2. So now we're going to check it. 2/3. Well, I lost my pen. Let's try that again. There we go. 2/3 times 3/2 is 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, and 6/6 equals 1. Let's look at the next one. 4/7. I'm going to flip the fraction, 7/4, and we're going to do our check. 4/7 times 7/4 equals 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 over 28 is the same thing as 1. So all of these are reciprocal fractions. So these are my set of reciprocals. Whoops. Those are reciprocals. Those are reciprocals. These are reciprocal fractions, and these are reciprocal fractions. But sometimes the numbers that we deal with aren't actually fractions. Sometimes they're whole numbers. And we need to figure out, can a whole number have a reciprocal? And the answer is very simply, yeah, it can. We know how to write a whole number as a fraction. So if I have the whole number 3, the first thing I do is I just need to make it a fraction. And we learned that to write a whole number as a fraction, we simply put the denominator of 1 underneath. So 3 and 3 over 1 have the same value. That should make sense to you. This is like having 3 of something. And this is saying I have 3 divided by 1. Well, 3 divided by 1 equals 3. So these two have the same value. Now, if I want to write the reciprocal for 3, I'm going to simply flip my fraction. 3 over 1 becomes 1 over 3. And that is the reciprocal fraction. I can check my math. 3 over 1 times 1 over 3 equals 3 over 3 equals 1. Excellent. All right, now on your own, you have 2 numbers over here. Go ahead and find the reciprocal fractions for 5 and 7. Pause the video while you're doing that work, and then restart the video to come back and check your work with us. All right, so let's see what we got here. 5 becomes a fraction 5 over 1. And in order to find the reciprocal, I'm going to simply flip the fraction 1/5. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 over 5 has the same value as 1. 7, we're going to turn 7 into a fraction and then flip the fraction. The reciprocal of 7 is 1/7. And here's the reciprocal for 5. Not too bad. All right, what I want you to do is stop this video and go and watch the next video, which is the song about dividing fractions, and then come back with your notes for dividing fractions and check out that lesson as soon as you have watched the video with the song.